Okay, for brethren, we have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. And this includes giving up what we want to do and how we want to do when is necessary for the sake of peace. You know, we are to, instead of be so harsh in our conversations, we are to be meek. We are to be calm. You know, many of us, you know, we like to overexert our voices. And when I say overexert our voices, I mean we like to scream and yell and almost sound like we're fighting, but that is not what we are called to do. We are called to bring peace. We are called to bring unity. Amen. And as we bring peace and unity in our relationships and our response, we will see definitely the growth not only in us but in other people. Huh? Okay, so the idea that we need to submit to one another is the most important principle in every relationship a believer will ever have. And so Paul gives instructions for various roles in the family and society, which are all based on the principle that believers submit to one another. And so husbands are to align themselves under their wives by loving them selflessly for their sanctification, illustrating Jesus' love for his church. And so children, Lord, and a fact of being filled with all expanded spiritual life, I a number of husband or wife and we and so submitting yourself unto the will of God, not from out of and of and so this principle put our what of yet so often better and higher those that are serving others. And this is going to in the work out as okay. So the approach that For the husband, ooh, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. For the husband, ooh, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of. Okay, so the Greek word for submission is you ready? So the Greek word for submission is hypotes, and this implies a voluntary attitude of giving and cooperating. This implies a voluntary attitude of giving in, cooperating, sorry, and carrying a burden. It is not a coercion, but about a willing choice to serve others. And so the key point is submission is not about inferiority, it's about honor and order. What? Key point, submission is not about inferiority, but it's about honor and order. And so in God's kingdom, we are called to serve one another in love. And we see this in Galatians 5 and 13, where it says, For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by... Huh? All right. Oh, it's 7 o'clock already.